Okay, so there's a woman dead on her couch, there's a piece of her neck just missing, and the detective assigned to the case is treating it like it's just a normal Tuesday. That's the opening 10 seconds of the game that just got announced, and I have not stopped thinking about it since. Pack, we need to talk about Rehaunted. No intro, no what's up guys, we're diving straight in because this one snuck up on me and I think it's going to sneak up on you too. So Rehaunted comes from a studio called Cauchemar, which, if your French is rusty as mine, literally translates to nightmare. Subtle. This looks to be the debut title on Steam, self-published, going for a Q3 2026 window, which means somewhere between right now and the end of September. No exact date and no price yet. You play as Detective Connor Rains, and the setup is almost insultingly simple on paper. A young woman found dead inside an abandoned house. Case looks open and shut, except, surprise, it isn't. The game is built entirely around you, the player, walking through the house and figuring out what actually happened, because the evidence you find is going to actively contradict itself. That's the whole hook, not jump scares first, contradiction first, and honestly, that's a more unsettling premise to me than a monster closet. Here's where it gets generally interesting for the gameplay nerds in the pack. Rains isn't just walking around vibing, he's got an actual toolkit with him. There's a UV flashlight for the stuff that isn't visible under normal light, a magnifying glass for close-up detail work, a camera to document evidence, and a walkie-talkie. And I bet money that thing isn't just flavour. That's probably your connection back to the department, or maybe something worse listening in. Everything you collect gets pinned to its dedicated evidence board. The developers have been pretty explicit about that part too. The game does not hand you a neat conclusion. You piece it together yourself, and depending on how you connect the dots, your version of what happened might not even match mine. That is a generally bold move for a horror game. Most of the genre wants to walk you by the hand straight to the scare. This one is betting you'll scare yourself trying to make sense of evidence that flat out refuses to agree with itself. There's a line from the coverage on this that I cannot shake. The house is described as feeling abandoned, but never empty. That is doing a lot of work in 5 words. From what's shown so far, this is first-person, cinematic, oppressive sound design. It's that kind of horror that's less about creature chasing you down the hallway and more about the hallway itself feeling wrong. And based on the trailer, there does seem to be something in that house with a very personal interest in what happened to that woman, and an even more personal interest in what happens to you. The full playthrough is being pitched at 2 to 3 hours long, which tells me the developers isn't trying to pad this out into a 15-hour slog. This is a tight, compact mystery box. Get in, unravel it, get out. That's if that house will let you. I'll be straight with you, Pack. I have seen a dozen detective pitches over the years, and most of them lean on the aesthetic without committing to the mechanic. What's got me excited here is the refusal to resolve. So many games say, piece together the mystery, and then hand you one correct board state and a gold star for effort. Rehaunted's whole pitch is built around the idea that the clues do not converge, and that is either going to be an absolute masterstroke or a genuine headache, depending entirely on your execution. That's the honest, unhyped truth about it. It also ships with English audio plus an interface and a subtitle support across 10 more languages, which for a debut self-published title is a serious, ambitious move. That tells you something about how confident this studio is in what they've built. Now, I do have to flag this clearly for you because I'm not about to sit here and make stuff up. There is no exact release date yet, no price, and 0 user reviews since the thing isn't even out. Everything we've covered comes straight from the announcement trailer and the initial press wave. So treat anything about actual gameplay mechanics, like how chase sequences or combat might work, or even if there are any, as unconfirmed until we get our hands on footage. When gameplay drops, that is an absolute follow-up video guaranteed, and I promise you that. So that's Rehaunted, a debut horror title betting everything on make you not trust your own conclusions. Inside a house that is absolutely, positively not as empty as it looks. The wishlist is live on Steam right now if this sounds like your kind of nightmare. Drop in the comments, would you actually want a game that never gives you a clean answer, or does that sound like it would drive you straight up the wall? I want to know. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.